is today? G.I. Joe Day is observed on April 9th each year to commemorate the introduction of the G.I. Joe action figure. G.I. Joe, created by Stanley Weston, made its debut in April 9th, 1964 and quickly became an iconic and influential toy in the United States. The original G.I. Joe action figure was a 12-inch articulated doll that represented an American soldier. It was marketed as an action figure for boys and was designed to pay homage to the military personnel while providing an entertaining and adventurous toy. Over time, G.I. Joe evolved and various versions, sizes, and themes were introduced. These included different characters, vehicles, and accessories, catering to the diverse interests and storylines such as the G.I. Joe vs. Cobra storyline. I made a documentary on my Media Helper channel this past Christmas that gives the complete breakdown of the creation of G.I. Joe. Please check it out if interested, and the link will be in the description. The Untold Story, Unmasking the Real Creators of G.I. Joe. I know, shameless plug. Yo, Joe! What is today? Tater Tot Day is a fun observance that celebrates the beloved potato-based snack known as the Tater Tots. February 2nd is dedicated to these crispy, bite-sized potato nuggets. This delicious day started its devotion to the tater tot in 2009. It began as a food writer's attempt to filling out his copy quota. Once he put it into the cyberspace of Twitter, it was an instant hit. In 1953, brothers F. Neffy Grigg and Golden Grigg, founders of Ore-Ida, were looking for ways to efficiently use leftover potato scraps. They came up with the idea of taking the remnants of potato slivers and pieces, chopping and seasoning them, and then extruding them into small, cylindrical shapes. These bite-sized potato bites were then fried to create a crispy exterior while retaining a soft, fluffy interior. The name tater tots originated from the combination of potato and tot, suggesting a small portion or a little piece of potato. In 1956, Ore-Ida introduced tater tots to the market, marketing them as a convenient and tasty way to use up potato leftovers. What is today? Oh, it's so yummy. Carrot Cake Day is celebrated on February 3rd each year, paying homage to the delicious and beloved dessert carrot cake. The concept of cake made with carrots gained popularity in Britain during World War II. Due to the rationing and limited supplies of ingredients like sugar, butter, and eggs, people sought alternative recipes that used readily available and affordable ingredients. Carrots, being more accessible, were used to sweeten and moisten cakes, contributing to the creation of the modern carrot cake. The carrot cake we recognize today with grated carrots mixed with batter containing flour, sugar, eggs, spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves, became more prevalent and enjoyed widespread popularity in the mid-late 20th century. Carrot cake's unique combination of flavors, moist texture, and incorporation of vegetables in a dessert have contributed to its appeal and made it a staple in bakeries, cafes, and home kitchens. I posted a recipe down in the YouTube description if you care to make me a carrot cake. I appreciate it very much. And make sure not to skimp on the frosting. A lot of young whippersnappers won't even know who this is. Liberace Day is celebrated every year on the day of his death, February 4th of 1987. Walduzio Valentino Liberace, known professionally as Liberace, was a renowned American pianist, vocalist, and showman who became an iconic figure in the world of entertainment. Born on May 16, 1919, in West Allis, Wisconsin, Liberace's career spans several decades, and he remains remembered for his musical talent, extravagant performances, and flamboyant style. Liberace's career took off in the 1950s and 1960s, propelled by his charisma, showmanship, and engaging performances. He gained widespread popularity through television appearances, stage shows, and recordings, becoming a household name. Liberace was known for his extravagant costumes, sparkling jewelry, and lavish stage sets. He influenced future generations of performers and left an indelible mark on the world of music and show business. Despite his passing in 1987, Liberace's legacy continues to be remembered and celebrated by fans and admirers around the world. This day may give you gas on National Fart Day, smelling every February 5th. A fart, also known as flatulence, is the release of gas from the intestines through the anus. The body produces gas from swallowed air, the digestion process, and other factors. The intestines produce between 500 and 2,000 milliliters of gas each day. Farts can contain odorless gas like nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane. A small portion of gas can include hydrogen sulfide, which smells like rotten eggs. The main cause of smelly farts is the food you eat. If you have a nutritious diet with lots of fiber-rich foods, the gases created during digestion can be healthy. However, sometimes digestion produces that hydrogen sulfide, which can make farts smell worse. Farting is a natural way to get rid of extra gas that builds up in the digestive system. It keeps the pressure in the intestinal tract low, which prevents painful stretching of the stomach and intestines. So keep farting, fart away. What is today? National Lame Duck Day is observed on February 6th each year in the United States. This day recognizes the ratification of the 20th Amendment to the United States Constitution on this day in 1933. The 20th Amendment, also known as the Lame Duck Amendment, changed the inauguration date for the president from March 4th to January 20th. Though first used in the 18th century Britain to refer to bankrupt businessmen, by the 1950s, lame duck was a prevalent term in American politics to mark politicians nearing the end of their terms. The term lame duck in this context refers to elected officials who are approaching the end of their term and either by choice or defeat will soon be out of office. The 20th Amendment aimed to reduce the time between the election and the inauguration, thus minimizing the period during which outgoing officials, often considered lame ducks, continue to hold power. National Lame Duck Day serves as a reminder of the historical changes in the presidential inauguration date and the impact it had on the transition of power in the United States. What is today? Fat Thursday, known as Slecti Shortstek in Polish, is a traditional Christian feast that is celebrated in Poland and other Central European countries. The observance takes place on the last Thursday before Lent, which is the period of fasting and penance leading up to Easter. Fat Thursday is often associated with indulging a rich and fatty foods before the Lenten season begins. On Fat Thursday, people in Poland and other regions enjoy various traditions, pastries, and sweets, especially pączki. Pączki are deep-fried donuts filled with jam, custard, and other sweet fillings. These treats are often covered with powdered sugar or glaze. It's a day for friends and family to come together and indulge in these delicious, calorie-rich pastries. The customs and specific foods associated with Fat Thursday may vary in different countries and regions, but the common theme is the enjoyment of rich and indulgent foods before the Lenten period of fasting and reflections begins. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts and get myself a dozen donuts. Chocolate, custard-filled, yummy. What is today? The Brazil Carnival is held at noon on Friday before Ash Wednesday. This year it takes place from February 9th to the 18th. The Brazil Carnival, known as Carnaval in Portuguese, is one of the most famous and vibrant festivals in the world. It is an annual celebration that takes place in the days leading up to Lent, which is a period of 40 days before Easter observed by many Christians. The date of Carnival varies each year, but it typically occurs in February or March. The centerpiece of the Brazil Carnival is the Samba Parade, where Samba schools from different neighborhoods and communities compete in Sambadrome, a purpose-built parade area. Each school puts on an elaborate performance featuring colorful costumes, music, dance, and intricate floats. Brazil Carnival is a major cultural event that attracts both locals and tourists from around the world. It is a time of joy, celebration, and cultural expression, reflecting the diversity and vibrancy of the Brazilian culture. What is today? The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences established Global Movie Day, a day for film fans around the world to celebrate their favorite movies and engage with Academy members and filmmakers across social media. Global Movie Day is held on the second Saturday of February every year to celebrate the power movies must reach, connect, and inspire people around the world. I'll share with you 10 of my favorite movies of all time. What's yours? List them down in the description. I'm going to group these all together. The first Star Wars trilogy, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Tombstone, Mississippi Burning. I'm going to group these together. Infinity War, Endgame, Man on Fire, the first Lord of the Rings trilogy, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, Escape from New York, Princess Bride, and Lethal Weapon. Celebrate Global Movie Day this year by discussing movies that have inspired you, posting your favorite movie lines or greatest film posters of all time, rewatching your favorite movies with friends and family, or discovering something new. What is today? It's Super Bowl Sunday, and here are 10 commercials from various Super Bowls that have left a lasting impact. Apple from 1984, directed by Ridley Scott. This iconic Apple commercial introduced the Macintosh computer and is often regarded as one of the greatest Super Bowl ads. Budweiser, What's Up? From 2000, this humorous and catchy ad featuring friends saying What's Up? Became a cultural phenomenon. Coca-Cola from 1980, this classic commercial features a young boy offering his Coke to Pittsburgh Steelers player Mean Joe Green. Doritos, various years. Doritos ran a series of user-generated commercials as part of their Crash the Super Bowl campaign, allowing fans to create ads for the big game. Volkswagen, 2011. This heartwarming commercial features a young boy dressed as Darth Vader trying to use the Force around the house. Budweiser, 2014. Puppy Love, an emotional commercial showcasing the bond between a puppy and a Clydesdale horse. We finish up our 10 Super Bowl commercials that have left a lasting impression. Doritos again from 2016, Ultrasound. Another Doritos favorite. This humorous ad shows a baby reacting to a dad's Dorito chomping antics during an ultrasound. Pepsi from 1992. Cindy Crawford starred in this classic Pepsi commercial featuring her enjoying a Pepsi by a gas station. Old Spice from 2010. The man your man could smell like. Old Spice's humorous and memorable ad featuring Isaiah Mustafa quickly became a sensation. And finally in 2019, Amazon Alexa, Not Everything Makes the Cut. This commercial humorously explores the concept of what happens when Alexa loses her voice. The cost of commercials in 2024, according to Parade, CBS and Paramount, the networks that will air the game. Super Bowl commercials have set the price at $7 million for a 30-second ad. This is the same as the average cost in 2023 and slightly higher than the $6.5 million cost of a 30-second ad in 2022. What is today? It's Super Bowl Sunday, and here are 10 halftime shows from various Super Bowls that have left a lasting impression. Prince from 2007. Prince's halftime performance, In the Rain, is widely regarded as one of the greatest in Super Bowl history. Michael Jackson from 1993. Michael Jackson's halftime show is often credited with setting the standard for future Super Bowl performances. Beyoncé from 2016. Beyoncé's halftime show, which also featured Coldplay and Bruno Mars, was praised for its energetic performances and political messaging. U2 from 2002. U2's halftime show took place shortly after the 9/11 attacks, and their performance included a moving tribute to the victims. Bruno Mars from 2014. Bruno Mars delivered a high-energy performance with hits like Locked Out of Heaven and Just the Way You Are. Keep a lookout for part 2 of this video coming up a little later today, finishing up the Super Bowl halftime shows. Let's finish up with the halftime shows. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake from 2004. This halftime show became infamous for the wardrobe malfunction, sparking significant controversy. Shakira and Jennifer Lopez from 2020. The dynamic performance by Shakira and Jennifer Lopez showcased their musical talents and Latin heritage. Madonna from 2012. Madonna's halftime show featured guest appearances by CeeLo Green, Nicki Minaj, MIA, and LMFAO. Katy Perry was 2015. Katy Perry's halftime show included vibrant visual special effects and guest appearances by Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott. And then there was Paul McCartney from 2005. Paul McCartney's performance featured classic hits and was praised for its simplicity and musical excellence. How about this year, 2024? The 2024 Super Bowl halftime show will mark Usher's second Super Bowl appearance. In 2011, he performed alongside the Black Eyed Peas when they headlined the event. What is today? It's Super Bowl Sunday, and here are the most valuable players from various Super Bowls that you may agree or disagree with. Joe Montana from Super Bowl 16, 19, and 24. Montana won the Super Bowl MVP 3 times and is known for his exceptional performance, especially in Super Bowl 16 and 19. Tom Brady. Super Bowl 36, 37, 49, 51, and 53. Tom Brady has won the Super Bowl MVP multiple times, showcasing his skills and leadership on the field. Jerry Rice, Super Bowl 23. While wide receivers don't often win the MVP, Jerry Rice's performance in Super Bowl 23 was exceptional, making him one of the greatest players in NFL history. Terry Bradshaw, Super Bowl 13 and 14. Bradshaw, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, won the Super Bowl MVP twice and played a crucial role in the success of the Steelers in the late 1970s. Look out for part 2 later today. Eli Manning, Super Bowls 42 and 46. Manning won 2 Super Bowl MVPs, with his most memorable performance coming in Super Bowl 42 when the New York Giants upset the previously undefeated New England Patriots. John Elway, Super Bowl 33. Elway, the Denver Broncos quarterback, won the Super Bowl MVP in his final game, capping off his illustrious career with a victory. Marcus Allen, Super Bowl 28. Allen, the Los Angeles Raiders running back, had a standout performance, rushing for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns, earning him the Super Bowl MVP. Franco Harris, Super Bowl 9. Harris, the Pittsburgh Steelers running back, played a key role in their Super Bowl 9 victory, earning the MVP with 158 rushing yards and a touchdown. Joe Namath, the New York Jets quarterback, famously guaranteed a victory and delivered, earning the MVP in Super Bowl 3. Desmond Howard, Super Bowl 31. Howard, a kick returner for the Green Bay Packers, won the MVP in Super Bowl 31 with a stellar performance that included a kickoff return for a touchdown. What is today? Darwin Day is an international celebration that commemorates the birth of Charles Darwin on February 12th of 1809. The day is observed by individuals and groups around the world to honor the contributions of Darwin to science and to promote the scientific understanding of evolution. Charles Darwin is best known for his groundbreaking work on the theory of evolution by natural selection, as presented in his seminal work on the origins of species, published in 1859. His ideas revolutionized biology, paleontology, and anthropology, and profoundly impacted our understanding of the diversity of life on Earth. Events and activities organized on Darwin Day often include lectures, discussions, educational programs, and exhibits focused on evolutionary biology, natural selection, and the broader implication of Darwin's work. Darwin Day recognizes and celebrates scientific and educational institutions, as well as individuals who appreciate the significance of Darwin's contributions to the field of biology and the advancement of scientific knowledge. What is today? On the TV show How I Met Your Mother, Desperation Day is humorously portrayed as the day before Valentine's Day, February 13th, and is described as a day when people might feel desperate to find a date for Valentine's Day. Desperation generally refers to a state of extreme despair or hopelessness, often arising from a sense of urgency or difficulty in finding a solution to a problem. It's an emotional state characterized by a feeling of being overwhelmed, anxious, or panicked due to challenging circumstances or a perceived lack of options. In the context of relationships, the term desperation is sometimes used to describe behavior that may arise from a strong desire for companionship or connection. This can manifest as intense efforts to find a romantic partner, often driven by a fear of loneliness or social isolation, and even gets to the point that people act irrationally, even to the point of violence. Check yourself this Valentine's Eve. It's okay to be alone. When the time is right and the person is right, desperation won't even play a factor in forming a relationship. What is today? Ash Wednesday is a Christian observance that marks the beginning of Lent, a period of fasting, repentance, and reflection leading up to Easter. It is widely observed by many Christian denominations, including Catholics, Anglicans, Lutherans, and some Protestant denominations. Ash Wednesday occurs 46 days before Easter Sunday. The date varies each year because it is based on the lunar calendar. The observance gets its name from the practice of placing ashes on the foreheads of believers in the shape of a cross. The ashes are often made by burning palm leaves from previous year's Palm Sunday. Churches typically hold special services on Ash Wednesday, during which the ashes are applied to the foreheads of participants. The imposition of ashes is often accompanied by the words, "Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return," or a similar phrase, emphasizing the transient nature of human life. The primary focus is on spiritual reflection, repentance, and preparation for the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ on Easter Sunday. What is today? National Gumdrop Day is an observance dedicated to celebrating gumdrops, which are a type of chewy, colorful candy. The day is typically recognized on February 15th each year. Gumdrops are small fruit-flavored gelatin-based candies coated with sugar. They come in various shapes and colors, making them a popular treat for both children and adults. The modern gumdrop is thought to have originated in the 19th century. It is believed Percy Truesdell, a candy manufacturer from Ohio, created the first gumdrop in 1915. Truesdale's gumdrops were initially called Unclaimed Babies and were later marketed under the name Dots. The key ingredient in gumdrops is gelatin, a protein derived from animal collagen. Gelatin provides the chewy texture that is characteristic of gumdrops. The candies are typically made by mixing gelatin with sugar, flavoring, and colors. Common flavors include cherry, orange, lemon, lime, and grape, among others. After gumdrop mixture is prepared, the candies are usually coated in sugar to prevent sticking. The sugar coating also adds sweetness and enhances the overall texture. What is today? The term Friday Fish Fry Day refers to a tradition of enjoying fish fries on Fridays, especially with communities where this practice has cultural or religious significance. The tradition of having fish fries on Fridays is rooted in religious practices, particularly within the Catholic Church. Traditionally, Catholics were required to abstain from consuming meat on Fridays as a form of penance and a way to commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus on Good Friday. This practice was observed throughout the year, not just during the Lenten season. While meat was to be avoided on Fridays, fish was considered a permissible alternative. This led to the popularity of fish dishes, and fish fries became a common way for Catholic communities to come together for a meal that adhered to the dietary restrictions. Even for those who may not follow the religious aspect, the tradition has persisted as a cultural practice, and many people, regardless of their religious beliefs, enjoy fish fries as a social and culinary event, especially on Fridays. It has become a part of the broader culture and culinary landscape in various communities. What is today? Happy Cabbage Day this February 17th. Its cultivation is believed to have started in ancient times, with evidence suggesting that it was cultivated in ancient Egypt around 2500 BCE. Cabbage cultivation spread to Europe, where it became a staple in many ancient cultures. The Greeks and Romans cultivated and consumed different varieties of cabbage. Cabbage became a common vegetable in medieval Europe, and it played a crucial role in European cuisine. Various types of cabbage, including Savoy cabbage and red cabbage, were developed during this period. European colonists brought cabbage to North America, where it adapted well to different climates. It became a staple of diets of early American settlers. Cabbage has remained a stable vegetable in many cuisines worldwide, and its cultivation and consumption continued to be significant. The vegetable's adaptability, nutritional value, and versatility in cooking have contributed to its enduring popularity throughout history. And it's also very, very good with corned beef. What is today? National Battery Day is observed on February 18th each year. This day is dedicated to celebrating and raising awareness about batteries, their history, and their importance in various aspects of modern life. Alessandro Volta, an Italian physicist, is credited with inventing the first chemical battery, known as the Voltaic pile, in 1800. The Voltaic pile consisted of alternating layers of zinc and copper discs separated by cloth soaked in salt water or acidic solution. This device produced a continuous and stable electric current. John Frederick Daniel, a British chemist, introduced the Daniel cell in 1836. This improved battery featured a copper pot filled with copper sulfate solution and a zinc rod immersed in zinc sulfate solution. Gaston Plante, a French physicist, developed the lead-acid battery in 1859. This type of battery is based on the chemical reactions between lead dioxide and sponge lead in a sulfuric acid solution. Karl Gassner, a German inventor, patented the first dry cell battery in 1888. The dry cell featured a zinc container housing the electrolyte in the form of a moist paste. This design made batteries more portable and convenient. Walter Jugner, a Swedish inventor, developed the nickel-cadmium battery in 1899. It was the first rechargeable battery, allowing users to reverse the chemical reactions and recharge the battery for repeated use. Louis Urey, a Canadian inventor working for the Ever-Ready Battery Company, introduced the alkaline battery in the 1950s. Alkaline batteries provided a longer lifespan and higher energy density compared to earlier batteries. The development of the lithium-ion battery is credited to multiple scientists, including John B. Goodenough, Stanley Whittingham, and Akira Yoshino. The lithium-ion battery, introduced in the 1970s, revolutionized portable electronics and is widely used in devices like smartphones and laptops. The history of batteries reflects a continuous evolution in technology, from the early Voltaic pile to the sophisticated and diverse battery technologies used in modern devices and applications. Iwo Jima Day commemorates the Battle of Iwo Jima, a significant World War II battle fought between the United States and Japan. The battle took place on Iwo Jima, a small but strategically important island in the Pacific Ocean. The Battle of Iwo Jima took place from February 19th to March 26th of 1945. Iwo Jima was considered a crucial objective for the United States because capturing the island would provide a strategic location for airfields, allowing for closer air support for the ongoing bombing campaigns against Japan. One of the most iconic moments of the battle was raising of the American flag on Mount Suribachi by U.S. Marines. The United States ultimately secured control of Iwo Jima, but the battle had a high cost in terms of casualties. The struggle for the island played a role in the later stages of the war against Japan. Iwo Jima Day serves as a day of remembrance for the sacrifices made during the intense and pivotal battle. Memorials and events are held to honor the memory of those who served and reflected on the historical importance of the Battle of Iwo Jima in the context of World War II. Handcuffs, as we recognize them today, started to take shape in Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries. They were initially made of iron and consisted of two metal rings joined by a short chain. The design evolved over time for better security and ease of use. The modern handcuff, as we know it today, was invented by W.V. Adams. He received a patent for his design in 1862. Adams' handcuff design featuring a ratcheting mechanism which allowed for easier and more secure application. National Handcuff Day marks the occasion back in 1912 on February 20th, when a patent was granted. Building off W.V. Adams' design, George A. Carney invented a revolutionary new style of handcuff. This new design became the de facto restraint of law enforcement agencies worldwide. The Carney patent was bought by James Milton Gill, who then started the Peerless Handcuff Company in Springfield, Massachusetts, and Carney's handcuffs have been manufactured ever since, becoming the irreplaceable tools of the trade for clients ranging from police officers to Harry Houdini-like escape artists. What is today? UNESCO first established International Mother Language Day in 1999. This annual commemoration began as a tribute to the Bengali language movement, which sought to recognize Bengali as the official language of modern-day Bangladesh. Historically, this region was considered part of East Pakistan, and it had large Bengali communities with a distinctive language and culture. The plight of the Bengali language is representative of many similar ones faced by small linguistic communities around the world. Throughout history, numerous languages have become extinct, meaning they are no longer spoken as a native language by any community. The reasons for language extinction are diverse and often include cultural assimilation, migration, or the dominance of a more widely spoken language. Here are some examples of extinct languages. Latin. While Latin is considered a dead language in terms of native speakers, it has had a profound impact on the development of many modern languages and is still used in certain contexts, such as scientific names, legal terminology, and religious practices. Ancient Egyptian. The ancient Egyptian language, including hieroglyphs, became extinct as a spoken language around the 17th century BCE. Sumerian, the language of ancient Sumer in Mesopotamia, is one of the earliest known written languages. It became extinct around the 18th century BCE. Akkadian is an ancient Semitic language, was widely spoken in the ancient Near East. It became extinct as a spoken language around the 1st century CE. Gothic was an East German language spoken by the Goths. It became extinct in the 9th century CE. Old Prussian was a Baltic language spoken in the region of Prussia. It became extinct in the 17th century due to Germanization. Ayak was a Native American language spoken in Alaska. The last fluent native speaker, Mary Smith Jones, passed away in 2008. Efforts to document and revitalize endangered languages are ongoing, but sadly, many languages continue to face the threat of extinction. Linguists and communities around the world are working to preserve linguistic diversity and cultural heritage. What is today? National Chili Day is typically observed on the fourth Thursday of February each year in the United States to honor and enjoy chili, a popular dish made with chili peppers, meat, usually beef, tomatoes, and various spices. The origins of chili can be traced back to Mexican cuisine. Indigenous people in Mexico consumed a dish called chili, which consisted of meat and chili peppers. This dish eventually made its way across the border to the United States. The modern version of chili con carne is often associated with San Antonio, Texas. In the late 19th century, women known as chili queens in San Antonio sold bowls of chili in the city's plaza. In the early 20th century, a pivotal development occurred with the invention of commercial available chili powder. This pre-made spice mix made it easier for people to prepare chili at home and contributed to its widespread popularity. Today, chili remains a versatile and beloved dish with numerous variations. It's often enjoyed with toppings such as cheese, sour cream, and green onions, and it's a staple of gatherings, cook-offs, and sporting events across the United States. What is today? Curling is Cool Day is observed annually on February 23rd. The origins of curling can be traced back to the 16th century Scotland. The earliest written record of the sport dates to 1541 with a reference to a contest between two parishes in Perth, Scotland. As the sport's popularity grew, curling clubs began to form in Scotland during the 18th century. These clubs established standardized rules and developed the first official curling stones. Curling spread to other countries with similar climates, such as Canada, where it gained immense popularity. The Royal Montreal Curling Club, founded in 1807, is considered the oldest active curling club in North America. The first international curling competition took place between the United States and Canada in 1872. The sport continued to gain global recognition, leading to the establishment of international competitions and championships. Curling was included in the Winter Olympic Games for the first time in 1924. However, it was not until 1998 Winter Olympics that curling became a full medal sport. The Lantern Festival is a traditional Chinese festival that changes every year with the lunar calendar. It usually falls in February, and this year it takes place on February 24th. The Lantern Festival, also known as the Yanshao Festival, is a traditional Chinese festival that marks the end of the Chinese New Year celebrations. Lanterns are the primary symbols of the festival. People create and display various types of lanterns, ranging from simple and traditional designs to intricate and artistic creations. Traditional dragon and lion dances are performed during the Lantern Festival. These lively and colorful performances are believed to bring good luck and drive away evil spirits. In some regions, there's a tradition of releasing floating lanterns on rivers or lakes, symbolizing letting go of the past and embracing the new. The Lantern Festival holds cultural and historical significance in Chinese tradition. It marks the end of the 2-week Chinese New Year festivities, symbolizing the arrival of spring and the first full moon of the Lunar New Year. The festival provides an opportunity for people to come together, celebrate, and usher in positive energy for the year ahead. What is today National Chocolate Covered Nut Day on February 25th? The combination of nuts and chocolate became popular, offering a delightful contrast in textures and flavors. The first commercial chocolate-covered peanut candy was Goobers, originally sold in 1925. Blumenthal Brothers Chocolate and Cocoa Company is the mastermind behind the making of the first Goobers. The Goobers Company was later purchased in 1984 by Nestle, one of the companies who got it early on the making of chocolate bars. Then in 2018, the company made its transition to ownership by the Ferrero Company. One of the more recognized chocolate-covered nuts is the M&M. Those chocolate-covered peanuts or chocolate-covered almonds have become a favorite of many. Peanut M&Ms were introduced in 1954. They were tan until 1960 when the colors red, yellow, and green were added to production. Whether as a simple homemade treat or a high-end gourmet delicacy, the combination of chocolate and nuts continues to be a timeless and satisfying indulgence. What is today? While everyone may have worn a pair of Levi jeans at some point in life, they may or may not know about Levi Strauss Day on February 26th. Levi Strauss, born Lo Strauss on February 26, 1829, in Butenheim, Bavaria, Germany, was the founder of the American clothing company Levi Strauss & Company. He is best known for inventing and popularizing blue jeans and enduring an iconic piece of American fashion. In 1847, Levi Strauss, along with his family, immigrated to the United States. They settled in New York, where he initially worked in the family's dry goods business. In 1853, during the California Gold Rush, Levi Strauss moved to San Francisco to establish a West Coast branch of the family's business, which primarily sold dry goods, fabrics, and other supplies to miners. In 1872, Levi Strauss partnered with Jacob Davis, a tailor, in response to a request from a customer for durable work pants. They designed a pair of sturdy pants made of denim fabric and reinforced with copper rivets at stress points. In 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis received a patent for the design of the riveted pants, now commonly known as blue jeans. This marked the birth of the iconic Levi's brand. The original blue jeans created by Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis were known as waist overalls. In the 1890s, the 501 series was introduced, becoming one of the most popular and enduring styles of Levi jeans. Levi Strauss passed away on September 26, 1902, but his legacy lives on. Levi's jeans have remained a staple in the fashion industry, and the company continues to innovate while staying true to its heritage. What is today? National Pokemon Day is celebrated on February 27th each year. This day commemorates the anniversary of the Pokemon franchise, which was first introduced on February 27th of 1996. This special day was created in 1998 to commemorate the release of the original Pokemon games. Pokemon was created by Satoshi Tajiri and Ken Sugimori and developed by Game Freak and Nintendo. The concept was inspired by Tajiri's childhood interest in collecting creatures. The Pokemon franchise officially began with the release of Pokemon Red and Green, no releases, for the Game Boy in Japan on February 27, 1996. Pokemon quickly gained popularity in Japan, leading to the release of Pokemon Red and Blue in North America in 1998 and other parts of the world in subsequent years. The Pokemon trading card game and an animated TV series also contributed to the global phenomenon. The franchise continues to evolve, introducing new generations of Pokemon and engaging fans through innovative experiences. What is today? Floral Design Day is an annual observance dedicated to the art and beauty of floral design. Celebrated on February 28th each year, Floral Design Day recognizes the skill and creativity of floral designers and their contributions to enhancing spaces with the beauty of flowers. Floral Design Day started with the idea of creating a special way of celebrating the birthday of Carl Rittner on February 28th of 1914. Rittner was the founder of the Rittner School of Floral Design in Boston back in 1947. As a pioneer in floral art education, Rittner had shared his wealth of knowledge in the floral industry and had a marked impact on thousands of students from all throughout the world. Floral design is a proud art form that has spanned thousands of years with a diversity of styles reflecting varying social, religious, and cultural trends. The floral industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There has been an increased recognition that floral designers who practice this art form deserve appreciation as well. What is today Leap Year Day, also known as Leap Day, occurs on February 29th and is added to the calendar during a leap year. A leap year is a year that is evenly divisible by 4, except for years that are divisible by 100, but not by 400. Leap Year Day occurs every 4 years, adding an extra day to the calendar in February. The Earth's orbit around the Sun takes approximately 365.2422 days. To keep the calendar year synchronized with the astronomical year, an extra day is added every 4 years. People born on Leap Day are often referred to as Leap Day babies or leaplings. Since the day only occurs once every 4 years, leaplings typically celebrate their birthdays on February 28th or March 1st in a non-leap year. Leap Year Day adds a unique element to the calendar, creating occasional adjustments to keep our timekeeping system in sync with astronomical events. It also adds a touch of novelty and tradition to the way people celebrate certain events and milestones during these special years.